Welcome to a windy alien lake. In this week's vlog, we're going to be talking about the multi-rig, how I use it, the components I use, also an alternative to tungsten rig tubing, and also, don't forget, if you watch to the end, everyone's favourite, we'll be talking about biscuit of the week. Welcome to the vlog. If this is your first time here on my channel and you like this type of videos, then you may want to think about hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell icon and you'll never miss another video again. So, what's happening? Well, it's sunny o'clock. Got my shades on because otherwise it'd be blinding me talking to you into the camera. We're back at the alien lake. We've got 24 hours. Maybe if Mrs. B lets me, I might be able to do 2 nights. But at the moment we've only got an overnighter. Just got 2 rods out. It's a couple of hours before the old sun sets and the sun's out, and that's why I've come back in this swim. If you remember a while ago, I was in this same swim on the alien lake and the sun just didn't appear. We was waiting for the sun to appear because we've got all the shallows over there, and I thought, well, the fish are going to get here in over the next 2 days, and they didn't. They were jumping all out in the middle, all up that end, and I blanked my arse off. So sun's out. Tomorrow's going to be sunny as well. And the next day's going to be sunny, so hopefully if we can butter Mrs. B up a little bit, we may be able to stay for 2 nights. Same tactics, multi-rigs, which we're going to go through. I mean, I love the multi-rig. I use that pop-up rig and the hinge stiff rig, but on this lake I used the multi-rig, and we'll go through that and I'll tell you why I use the multi-rig, why it suits this particular lake rather than the park lake. You know, we talk about hook bait, we talk about hook, lead system, and why I use a lead clip with it, and all those sort of things. We'll just go through the multi-rig totally. A few minutes, we'll spend a little time, we'll go through it, and hopefully you'll get something from it, even if you're using a multi-rig, or if you're looking to use it. It may give you an insight in if it'll work, and how to, apply it to the lake you're fishing. Just got the last rig to do. Well, I've tied the rig. Last rod to stick out, which is going out towards the island, in between 2 bars. I'm fishing a little trough. There's a bar up against the island, then there's a trough, then there's a bar this side. So I want to land just behind it. It's like a little thoroughway, it's like a little roadway that they go up and down. There's only been 2 fish out since my last trip. Well, 2 fish out in total out of the alien lake. So it's a little bit behind, but with this sun, this is the first proper bit of sun. So I pleaded with Mrs. B, let me go for 24 hours, and then we're going to try and butter up, as I said, to do 48 hours. Also, we're going to be talking about this. You can see that. Oh, the old rod's going to fall over. That, I think you see that on the film. But that's an alternative to the old tungsten tubing. Now, I used to call the tungsten tubing. Really rate it, really like it. But I see this from Rigmarole. I think it's called the free fall braided tubing, and I see that at one of the shows. I think it was the what show was it? Not the Northern show, the big one. So I took a few of those bits away because I like the heaviness of it, the suppleness of it, and it's a little bit different. So we'll have a look at that in a little bit of detail as well tomorrow, along with the multi-rig tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to get that rod out before dark, a couple of hours. May spray a little bit of bait out there, not too sure. See what the duck situation's like, although I've got my tufty scarer, my tufty torturing me, which yeah, that works well. If you bought one and you're using it, fair play. Let me know down how good you think it is. I'm confident you've liked it. So yeah, we got out there is the shallows. That's like goes from like 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot down, and it gets deeper, and then we've got all bars going out here. So with this sun out, I thought this is where I want to be. Plus, even though that wind's blowing up there, it's really busy up there. All the swims are taken. So that's all we can do. I'm going to get the last rod out, settle in for the evening, and get up the tree and see if I can see any fish. And tomorrow, either tonight or tomorrow, I think we're going to have our chance, if nothing's about at the moment. Because this is the first time the sun's come out this spring properly. And tomorrow's going to be even warmer. It's going to be about 18 degrees tomorrow. And Thursday, it's going to be 20 odd degrees. So hopefully we can get that 48 in rather than 24. Tickle Mrs. B a little bit. And of course we have got a rather decadent, rather upmarket biscuit of the week coming tomorrow at the end as well. Right, I'm going to crack on, get sorted, get this last rod out, and I'll catch you soon. Just thought I'd share something with you. Just seen one show out there in the middle of the lake, nowhere near me, but this wind's going to drop and it's going to get really sunny tomorrow, so I'm hoping the fish can move back up here. They should come into here tomorrow. Well, that's the plan anyway. That's the plan. Kettle's on, the old it only takes one bite kettle. Lovely cup of tea. We've just had an absolutely superb dinner. Bit of steak, salad, tomatoes, cucumber, beetroot, bit of salad cream over the top. You've got to eat well while you're fishing, haven't you? You have to eat well, and that's good for me diet anyway. Even though we're having biscuit of the week later on, you've got to make the effort with the rest of the food. So it's looking promising. We've seen one anyway. You know, they're moving about. Even though it's about 500 yards away, we've seen one. So that's made me happy anyway. It's given me a bit of confidence, because hopefully they'll move up here, because there's quite a bit of pressure up there. They might move up here at night, and as soon as that sun gets up, they move on to the shallows. And it's quite shallow all the way out here. I say, I've got 2 rods out in the little dip between the 2 bars, and the 3rd rod's out in between 2 bars as well. So all to play for, as they say, and it really does only take 1 bite. So all locked and loaded, excited. Tight lines. Rods are tight. Now the reason why they're tight is, 1, I'm fishing a distance out, so they're bowstring tight. And 2, I'm fishing over something. So there's no point, even if I was fishing 40 yards out, I'd have tight lines. If I was fishing over a bar or over a weed bed or something like that, there's no point having slack lines this side of whatever obstacle you're fishing over. There's just no point. Got to fish a tight line to things like that. There's no point fishing a slack line, and I'm all for slack lines a lot of the time. Look, there we go, look. She's a boiling. She's a boiling. Turn her off. Make the old cup of tea. Don't we, eh? Right, oh, check this out, look. Spoon of death. Look at that. That has got a fish graved into it. And it's got my initials in there. Can't be kettles. Same people who've done the kettle. God, almost burnt my face then. Bloody hell. Idiot, eh? Bloody hell, put this up here and I don't feel, why is that warm? So, yeah, look. It only takes 1 bite, kettle. Can't be kettles. They do the spoon as well. Jamie Smith, good friend of mine. So, we're trying to catch one. Trying to get the first one out of the alien lake. The first bite out of it we've got to have. It's about this time last spring that we had our first one, and I think that was from here as well. Pretty sure that was from here. Right, all to play for. I'm going to chill out, because we've got probably, the sun's going down there, look, probably about half an hour before it starts going down properly. Going to get back to my cup of tea, brew that up, lovely, and sit and watch and reflect and chill out and just watch to see if I've got any fish or anything moving anywhere near me. Right, hopefully catch you in the night with a big fat whacker, or see you in the morning. Touch base with you. It's 20 to 9, it's just gone dark, and I've just seen a fish come up twice to the right of the swim where I haven't got a bait. Would you believe it? I've moved the bait there. I did put a bait there earlier and I've moved it and put it straight out. We, us anglers, we get this conundrum, don't we? Now normally, if I see a fish like that, any other lake, I probably, if I haven't got a bait in that sort of area, general area, I would definitely recast. But on the alien lake, because they're alien fish, and I know you put a lead on them, they disappear, they skedaddle. I'm telling you, they're off, they're gone normally. And I don't want to take a rod off the spot I know's good and spend a couple of casts. Oh mate, I've just seen it again. It's just come out again. I might have to put a light lead on and bang it over there. I'm going to have to, aren't I? Normally I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But I'm going to have to. That's come up twice now. I'm going to have to put a bait on it. I'm going to have to. Right, I'm going to go and put a bait on it. Right, I've just pinged that out there. I'm glad I did now, because when I checked the hook, it was blunt. Whether that's where I'm fishing out on the gravel and I had to bring it in, and as I'm bringing it in, it's bent over, or turned over should I say. But I'm glad I did. That's the beauty of those multi-rigs, is that I just changed the hook, replaced it with a new one, and it was perfect. Just put a little, it was about an ounce and a half lead on, and just whipped it as far as I could, about 40 yards out to where the fish felt it down, and I didn't really feel it land. I know there's no weed out there, it's just silt and that, so hopefully a little white pop up on. You never know. Got to give it a go, haven't you? I couldn't resist it. It come up twice, that fish, same area. That's feeding that fish 100%, just the way head and shouldered in the dark. It wasn't a flappy one, it was a proper poof, like that. So there might be more than one fish there. So banged it out, semi-slack line. All we can do is hope, wait and see what happens. Hopefully I'll hear it again, or I'll get a bite. You've got to be in it to win it, ain't you? Right, I'm going to listen and watch. I'll catch you soon. Morning. Well, as I suspected, that fish never showed again. I didn't get any lines, I didn't get a bite on that right hand rod that I've recast after seeing that fish last night. Look at that, look. Little sun's coming up. Let's have a look. Let's get up, because I've got the kettle going. Let's get up and sort that out. Oh, so you can have a look. Kettle's on the go, look. Kettle's going. Good morning brew. Oh. Look at that, how beautiful that is this morning. The old current bun coming up, looks absolutely gorgeous. Today there's going to be a fish out somewhere. That sun's going to come up and these fish are going to get in here, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Look at that out there, look. Look at that, look. Looking absolutely gorgeous. A proper spring morning now today. Better than it looked yesterday, that's for certain when we got here. Looks absolutely spot on out there. Look at that, look. Look at that, and look at that sun coming up over there. Kettle's just boiled. And we're going to have a nice cup of tea, first brew of the day. First light, I've got to put my eyes over there because of the sun. Not seen anything yet this morning, seen a little bit of fizzing out, just past me rods out by the island. So all to play for. I'm going to get myself ready. Just thought I'd check in with you this morning, show that beautiful sunrise. Looks absolutely stunning this morning. But the rods have remained motionless once again. Seems to be a common theme at the moment with me, doesn't it? The rods are remaining motionless. That is the curse of the new rods. Ever since I got the new rods, those new Dream Makers, that's been it. Not had a bite. It's crazy, isn't it? I haven't even got my lucky carp dog with me either, look. He's not allowed. My lucky carp dog. But at least I've got a cup of tea and I'm out. And I'm not in work. Right, I'm going to drink my cup of tea. I'm going to watch, see where they're fizzing or showing. And, oh, now. See that there? I don't know if you can see that. But that was a fish. That is not far from my left-hand rod. So, I'm going to get all prepared just in case. You never know. We might have one this morning. You never know. They're a bit active, aren't they? So, right, I'll catch up with you soon. Right, sun's out in full swing now. Look at that. Absolutely lovely. Boiling today. Must have got a suntan. But, surprisingly, I've only seen a few fish coming in and out of there. Not really loads. They're not feeding, they're dying in, swimming around and going out. Normally, I would have expected them all to be in here with the sun in the shallows. So, shall I move? Shall I go home? Mrs. B's given me another night. What do I do? What do I do? Rods are in at the moment because I want to show you the multi-rig. Right, let's have a bit of a closer look. An old faithful of mine, the multi-rig. Right, let's have a look at the multi-rig. I've used this over the years, probably for about 15 years. I've used it on and off on different lakes. Before I go into a little bit more detail about it, I'm going to tell you how I use it in my fishing. And why. You're probably thinking, well, I use the hinge stiff rig. I really like that pop-up rig. Well, I do, but I only use that at certain lakes and certain lake beds. And here's the reason why. I use both of them, but they work well on in different situations. You haven't got that stiff boom, it's sort of semi-stiff because you're using coated braid. And I'm using it on a clip system. I use the multi-rig when you've got a bit of weed, or in the spring when the weed's just starting to come up, or you're fishing a spot where there's weed around it, because you can't be certain that there's no weed on the spot that you're fishing. There's always little bits here and there and coming up in the spring and the summer. And on a weedy lake, if you've got like Canadian pondweed or any of the other types of weed, I go with the multi-rig just because it's going to sit over, when it sits down, it's going to sit over any little bits of weed or bumps or anything like that, float down onto your spot. Plus, all the natural food that the carp's eating is up in the weed. It's actually in the weed. It's up inches up the weed, or a little bit up the weed, or 6 inches up the weed, or whatever. So by fishing a multi-rig on that sort of uneven spot, right, you can fish it as tight as you can to the weed or little spots in the weed. I'm positioning the hook bait in amongst where all the natural is. If I was to use a hinge stiffy with a stiffish boom, it might stick up in the air too much. The rig might not act the way it's meant to act, hence why I use the multi-rig. Also, I use it when you're not allowed to use leaders or leg core or anything like that. So I use it on a clip system. If you see there, that's on a clip. Now you might also notice I use a ring swivel. Now I want as much ply, as much spinning, rotation, as much movement as possible. I don't want it on an anti-tangle sleeve or anything like that. I want that to be moving around, and you'll see it when you cast it spin and it'll do other things. Also, I'll push this up now, I put a little bit of putty just below the lead. Now that's a good little tip on the coated braid, so it's just below. If you see it there, it's just below the lead. Now that helps, believe it or not, to make it tangle proof. Don't ask me why, but it does. It must be the rotation linked with that ring swivel and the bit of putty on there. It's a bit of Christ on putty, that is, because it sticks to the hook link really well. Best putty out there. It rotates more, and I get very, very, very few tangles by just putting that little bit of putty there. Hook link, you see there's about 8 to 10 inches long. Depends on the spot I'm fishing. If I'm fishing, I know there's a lot of weed on there, or there's a bit of weed, I'll make it longer. And the hook link is either, there's a few I use over the years, but the main one is either the Christon snakebite, absolute brilliant hook link which has stood the test of time, or the PB Products jelly wire, £25. Both of those, Christon snakebite or the jelly wire, will serve you well. Although all the other hook links out there will work as well. That's just my personal preference, those two. And I've used them for years, they've never let me down. So that's what I got, that's what I have the confidence in. Clip system, which brings me nicely on to that alternative for the tungsten tubing. Now this is a new product by a company called Rigmarole, which I'm sure you've heard of. It's called free fall braided tubing. I think it's actually called free fall micro braided tubing, and I must say I'm very impressed with it. It's very heavy. You can thread it through, you thread your line through there like that, and it comes in lots of different lengths. When it goes in the water as well, because you've got this braid across it rather than a tungsten, like a plastic that's been infused with tungsten, it sort of disappears on the bottom. They do it in brown and they do it in the green. You've got these little finished off nice at the ends, and that pushes absolutely perfect into the clip system I'm using now. You use it with any clip system. The system I use is the atomic tackle clip system there. So because I want to dump the lead because I'm fishing a weedy lake. Puts into that little tail rubber, pushes in. Even if you give it a big one with a big 4-ounce lead, this ain't going up the line like tungsten can do, tungsten tubing can do. I mean, I've used tungsten for years, tubing, absolutely brilliant, caught loads of fish in it. But I see this at the, I think it was the Big One show, and I said, oh, I'm going to have to try that. It's quite supple, look. It's lovely and supple, and it just lays itself out. It's got a little bit of stiffness in there, but mostly suppleness. It sort of lays itself out back behind. Instead of going in a heap, it lays itself out. And what's in there is like a long spring. It's a big long spring, and if you actually pull it from end to end, it's got a little bit of give in it where that spring's moving. I think it's stainless steel and it's coiled up so tightly and your line goes through the middle of it. So check that out. Free fall micro braided tubing by Rigmarole. I've started using it, and the way it reacts in the water, casts beautiful, you're not getting any tangles, and it's a good alternative to your normal tungsten tubing that you use. So there you go, that is a rough sort of overview of the multi-rig that I use. I use a chod type hook with an outturned eye, a little split shot on there. You can use putty yourself, I prefer the split shots, and you've got a running, that is a that's a bore ring on there, but you can use a little 3.5 4 mil rig ring on there as well. But if you want to show how to tie it, I'll put a little link up there of how I tie the multi-rig. I've given you a little overview of it, of how it all works. That sort of floats down, you put a little bit of PVA foam on there, so when you cast it, you're not getting any tangles. You don't anyway, I don't use the foam anymore. I used to, but I just don't find I need to, because it just doesn't tangle with this setup. There you go. A real nice rig to use in the spring, or if you're fishing a weedy lake where you want to fish a pop-up and you're not sure of the bottom and there's a bit of weed, a bit of candy floss weed or whatever is on the bottom, get yourself on the multi-rig. Of caught loads of fish on it, and it's a really good versatile rig that you can just change the hook if you blunt it. There you go, there's a little oversight. So I put the link up there for you to have a look at a purpose made video I've done of actually tying the rig up, so you can actually tie it up step by step. And yeah, give it a go. Let me know in the comments if you use the multi-rig. If you want to know any other things about the multi-rig, I can put that in the next video, and check out that video as well about the multi-rig. There you go, that is the multi-rig and the free fall micro braided tubing. Well, welcome back. We've got some good news and we got some bad news. Rods are not there, bivvy's not there. Had a phone call from Mrs. B. Babysitter's let her down. So when you got to go, haven't you? Unfortunately, you got to go. So as we did only plan a 24-hour, then we got the go-ahead from the War Office, from Mrs. B, the 48. Then I've just showed you the bit on the multi-rig, just about to get the rods back out, phone rings. You have to come home. Why's that then? I ain't coming home. Babysitter. Do you know what the babysitter's for? Can't believe I'm going to say this. For the carp dog. It is her baby. There's no one to look after the dog while she goes out tonight. She's arranged to go out. The dog can't be left alone because it's a baby. Bless his little cotton socks hole. The old carp dog's got it made, hasn't he? He's got it made. She runs around for him like bloody you wouldn't believe, bless him. And he's had presents delivered from one of you guys today. Presents. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, isn't it? Right, but the good news is I couldn't go without doing everyone's favourite biscuit of the week. Now, as you can see, there's only 3 left in there. I've had 3 of them already. I had 3 of them last night on the quiet. I was going to save the whole packet to do biscuit of the week, but it got the better of me because I do love these. These are my favourites. Crimbles, Mrs. Crimbles, right? 6 big chocolate macaroons. Oh mate, if you like coconut and you like macaroons, these are soft, they're sexy. Sexy macaroons they are. These are unbelievably nice. Expensive, I think. I can't remember, I didn't even look at the price, just put them in the bloody basket yesterday. Just put them in the basket when I was coming down. So, let's have a look at them, shall we? Because look at the chocolate on the back there. Mrs. Crimbles, have some of that biscuit of the week. Look at that. They melt in your mouth. Guys, if you've had these, put down in the comments that you've had them as well, and you know they're good. You know they're good. Put them in the comments. Oh. Or if you've got an alternative which you think's better than the coconut macaroons by Mr. Crimble. Mate, these are the ones. No wonder I ate 3 of them last night. You only get 6 in a packet. I think I need to buy about 4 packets, I think. Oh, mate, these are the ones. These are the ones. These are 5-star. 5-star rating. That served the old pork chop right, wasn't it? He's not having any. He ain't here, so I've got to go home and look after him. Bless his little cottons, eh? You wait till I get home and see him. Right guys, on that note, no rods to cast out, van's all packed up, I'm going to have to say goodbye. Don't forget, if you like this type of videos guys, and you want to see more of this type of videos, hit that subscribe key, hit that bell notification icon button, and you'll never miss another video again. See ya for the next vlog.